on guys, Zombies SMG here, and welcome back again to another 5 Minutes of Freddy's theory, and this theory is gonna blow your mind. So, without further ado, let's get right to this, and let's jump right to the theory. Now, first thing we know is that in 5 Minutes of Freddy's 4, is that it's been revealed that FREDBEAR'S was actually in 1983, and did contain the 5 Nights at Freddy's 1, or so we think, the 5 Nights at Freddy's 1 characters, which include Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy, along with Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. How do we know this? Well, the reason why we know this is because actually on the TV there is a thing that can play of a TV show with the animatronics of all of them. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Fredbear, and, well, Spring Bonnie's not on it, but he was also at the location itself, which is interesting alone. So seeing them all together proved at one point they were all in one general area together and were all basically in the same building. However, the building that they were at were focused mainly on Fredbear being the main attraction of the place. Now, this is where things got interesting. So basically here is where things, in my opinion, get interesting. And what happened is that while this was going on, this is where all these spring animatronics were at. And even though that we think that the spring animatronics were at a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, somehow they made it into the Fredbear's place. Because if you actually look in the background in one of the scenes, not only do you see a guy wearing a Fredbear costume, but you'll actually see in the back room the Purple Man instructing a guy how to use the Spring Bonnie suit, which is also another revealing thing that might say that the purple guy is Phone Guy, but that's not the point of this theory. With that all the way, we all know that the animatronics were at the same location. Next thing you know, a group of boys actually kill a kid somehow, and one of them actually happens to be his brother, by basically putting the kid inside Fredbear's mouth, stupid enough as it sounds. The kid dies, and this is what people believe to be the bite of 87. However, it isn't. For one, the kid's frontal lobe didn't go off. His entire head got crushed. And number two is that the game took place in 1983, making it not the bite of 87, but rather the bite of 83, or whatever other name you want to call it. If this was also the bite of 87, then how come 5 Minutes of Freddy's 2, the only game so far that we know of where the game takes place in 1987, the toy animatronics were scrapped for quote-unquote malfunctioning? After the whole Fredbear incident, the Fredbear Entertainment actually, well, scrapped Fredbear and got rid of him due to the negative opinions and redesigned the whole place to be Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, or so we think. What actually happened here is that a company bought them out after they scrapped Fredbear and replaced Fredbear with Golden Freddy, which would later become known as Spring Freddy. Although they had all the other characters, because the other characters, guys, remember, they weren't in the incident of this. They didn't cause this to happen, and they didn't move around. They were on separate stages, which can be known for the fact about in 5 Minutes of Freddy's 3, there's actually a minigame called Stage 1, which has Spring Freddy and Spring Bonnie, or should we say Fredbear and, well, Spring Bonnie. And with that being said, there might have been multiple stages in the Fredbear location, one of which being Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, one of them being the Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica, and the other one being Foxy. However, with the Spring animatronic place, they had two locations, one of which had the normal animatronics, and one of which was the Spring animatronics. The Spring animatronic business obviously went down as they all had spring lock failures. Now, with that also being said, there is also the other location. The other location had the animatronics that we see in the Fredbear and Friends TV show, and they're actually the withered animatronics. Yes, that is right, the withered animatronics. They've been with us since FREDBEAR'S. And basically, with that being said, while they're at FREDBEAR'S, they actually went over and skipped the Spring place and went to the sister location, which was with the other characters, which would be Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica. And hopefully that would attract more customers. Like I said, they actually had to, well, ditch the Springlock place, and eventually at one point they ditched the normal place for the newer location after they earned enough money, in which they had the 5 Nights at Freddy's 2 location. Now, the 5 Nights at Freddy's 2 location is self-explanatory. The withered animatronics are from Fredbear, and the sister location and the toy animatronics are obviously new. Now, with that also being said, this is where the bite at 87 takes place, and the bite at 87 was most likely, caused by Mangle. It is still unknown who did cause the bite at 87, however, it is most likely to be Mangle for many reasons. Also due to the fact about it had to be one of the toy animatronics, since the toy animatronics were scrapped and the withered ones weren't. After the toy animatronics were scrapped, Freddy Fazbear's Entertainment had no choice but to rely on the old Fredbear companions, so with a little bit of tinkering they actually fixed them up and had them for use again, in which we see Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Now that also isn't the end of the story. Then we have Five Nights at Freddy's 3, which is, like I said, self-explanatory. However, the Purple Man did die in the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 building inside of the Springtrap suit, and that's essentially where the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 story begins, and thus the end of the game, where you can either free the souls or, well, let the souls stay trapped in the suits forever. This, my friends, is the end of the Five Nights at Freddy's original story as Scott wanted it to be. Now, I'm not sure if Scott's going to ever expand upon this in the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 DLC, or if the 4 DLC is just going to be a different location. Regardless, we have no idea what it's going to be. We have no idea if it's going to be the Fredbear place that we saw in-game. But, like I said, we have no idea. Now, this also gives us no clue to exactly why these suits are haunted themselves. Now, my theory is that the Purple Man killed the kids that actually bullied and, well, killed the 83 victim kid, the little one that you play as that unfortunately does die. Now, with that being said, the boys were killed eventually by the Purple Man out of vengeance. Now, it's not sure why the Purple Man did this, but he did it for vengeance, and those 4 kids that were wearing the masks weren't actually wearing masks, but themselves were wearing masks to represent the animatronics that they haunted. And they haunted them since Fredbear's to the very end of the Five Nights at Freddy's storyline at Five Nights at Freddy's 3, in which you can either free them or have them stay in them forever. Now, the only thing I cannot explain about the Five Nights at Freddy's storyline is that Phone Guy in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 mentions that the animatronics haven't got a bath for 20 years, when in reality 20 years wouldn't have been of when, well, any location was around, considering the fact that Five Nights at Freddy's 1 has almost been confirmed to be 1993 based off the pricing. And with that being said, it is quite clear that 20 years wasn't 1983. So, was there one more location that we don't know about? Was there one more place that we have yet to learn about, even before Fredbear's, even before what we thought was the beginning? We'll have to find out one day, guys. And until that day, we'll find out. But anyways, guys, I'm Zombieworks SMT. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, make sure you guys leave a like. And if you guys are new to my channel, then why not hit that subscribe button, stay up there for future videos and posts to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing day, and peace out.